Hi there, my name is DJ. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm building bag 12 of LEGO 76457 Hogsmeade Village. If you're interested, I have a playlist on my channel with all of the previous bags in this series. Alright, let's see what we got here. We're starting with this 4x6 plate. Looks like it's going up on the corner over there. Then we got a 1x6 next to it, and this little 1x3 smooth plate. And then we're moving on over to doing, looks like two of these guys with the plate and a little sloped bit that's gonna be, oh, looks like quite a bit of snow all along the front of the building. So let's see what we got here. We got the first sloped bit, and then one of these little rounded guys, and then one of these bigger sloped bits, and then this guy up on the plate, and then back to the sloped bit, and then this little rounded guy. It's going to be the snow that's piled up in front of the building over there. And then moving on to the other side of the, what I'm assuming is going to be the doorway. We got some more snow drifts piling up over here. And then got another little rounded bit. And then this slope. And then doing the higher slope again. And another little rounded guy. And then it looks like two more up onto here. That little rounded bit. And one more of these little slopes here. Alright. And then we're moving over to 16. Looks like maybe we're building a bench for out front. It's going to be my initial guess at what we're building here. Okay, so it's one of these 2x2s with only half studs, and then a smooth 1x2. Back to the little half stud plate. I want to make a joke about the Half-Blood Prince in there, seeing as this is a Harry Potter set, but I'm not that terrible funny. And alright, so we got the top of that, and then it looks like we've got these little rounded 1x2 plates for the legs of, again, what I'm assuming is a bench, being as it's out front of the building, like so. And then we're moving over to a 1x3 here, and this little sandy colored brick on there. I got a sort of little texture there. Then a 1x6 brick next to the little sandy colored one we had. And then another one of these guys. And a little brickwork looking guy there for that step. And then moving over here, let's see, we got a 1x2 plate there, and a little 1x2 brick, and 1x2 plate, and a little 1x1 brick, and then a little guy with the clip on the front, and another 1x1 brick behind him. And then we're moving over to kind of a mini build. Let me put these three together, and like so. And then all of that goes on top of there. And we're moving right along. Looks like we're putting some more pieces together here. Got this little brickwork guy, and this little guy with the studs on the front, and this black round bit. And that needs a sticker. Coming back, we need sticker 21. All around butter beer looking fellow. That's gonna go on the front of here, like so. And then all of that just gets turned around and put in there. Now we are moving along to some of these little windows and the little frame, and then the lattice inside. That first one goes in there, and then we do all of that again for the second one. And yep, got that one backwards. Alright, and then the lattice. I forgot the part on top over on this guy. It did seem like it was an unusual height, but alright. Got that guy there. Building up our wall. And moving over to the next page. Got this little 1x3 and the 1x2 and another 1x2, and then it's 1x1 up underneath, and put it back together, and then up on top I got this 1x3, and then another 1x1 up there. And then all of that goes together on the wall there. Then, let's see, we've got this 1x8 plate going there. And then a little 1x1 on the left, and I am searching for the 1x2. Oh, no. There we go. I got this little fellow with the textured, or the studs on the front, and then this little tombstone shaped guy, which feels like it ought to have a sticker on it, but the book doesn't say it has a sticker on it. So we'll keep moving right along. And we've got one, this little round tubular looking dude, and then looks like 5 of these little wedge shaped guys are going to go all along the top of the wall, the higher part of the wedge outward. And that's 4 and 5. Alright. And we have another. Alright, we have this higher than, what is that, a 3 high little window frame with, looks like this one doesn't get a lattice in it, just goes on there. Then we've got a 1x1 and 1x1 with a stud on the front, and another 1x1. All of that goes on the wall there. And then let's see, we moving over to step 26. We got this 1x5 plate and 2 of these little bricks on top, and that goes on top of the wall there. And looks like it's time for another round bit with sticker. This time we're looking for sticker 20. And let's see, looks like we want the sort of leaves toward the top of where it's gonna go. So about like so. Well, that's pretty off center, but no changing it now. And that is gonna go on the wall there. And then let's see, it wants us to rotate everything around. So we're now looking at the inside of the building. And let's see, got a whole bunch of this gray pieces going in on the floor. And that one there. And another 2x4. And a little rounded cap on the end. And just the rounded bit there. And 2x4 smooth plate. And another little rounded cap on the end of there. And that step is all done. Now it looks like we're building up another big chunk of something with several of these guys going on top, like so. And then some of these 1x3 smooth plates on top of that. And all of that goes together under here. Sort of a counter inside, maybe. Yeah. Let's see, moving along. Got another section of a wall or some such. Little 1x4 with a couple of 1x2s on top. And looks like 1x3 smooth plate. And then this little L-shaped guy is gonna go on top of the studs from the last step that were still exposed. And then we are moving over to this big piece of wall, which is also gonna get a sticker on it. Looks like sticker 18 here. And that is gonna go in the top left corner on the outside here. Let's see if I can get that reasonably lined up so it doesn't look too bad. Alrighty. And then on top there, we're putting one of these plates. And then that whole thing gets slotted into the wall. And oh, I did want 2 of these plates on top, not just one of them. There we go. And LEGO really rewards the detail-oriented, I'll tell you what. Okay. And we're putting in a bunch of stuff into the corner over here. Looks like this little 1x3 black plate and a 2x3 brown plate there. And then this little hinge guy goes on to there and then moved over at an angle. And then this 2x3 plate. Alright. Now we're putting some of this kind of bluish color onto the floor. So there we go. Another 1x2 plate. Some of these 2x2s with the half studs going on like so. And this 1x2 smooth plate. And one more of these half stud plates. Alrighty. And what do we got? We got just 2 of these round guys on this part of the hinged piece with that's at a jaunty angle. Oh, and then we're building up one of the maybe the pub tables with these little drinks on top. Then a couple of these little white studs for the foam on top of the beer. Butter beer, mind you. And alright, got these little round bits for the other legs on the table, and then this 1x2 with the rounded edges, and that makes for a table that you can kind of move around at different angles in the pub. And since I ran out of bricks, yep, that is all for that bag. Okay, so I forgot to do anything about the autofocus on this one either. It's still all a learning process, right? Thank you for watching. I hope you're all having a good day. Please remember to do all the YouTube things, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.